Hello friends, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about the double tap feature that was debuted on the new Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the Apple Watch Series 9 because it has just become publicly available in public beta in Apple watchOS 10.1. So in this video today, we're going to do a couple of things. First, I'm going to walk you through how you can actually download the double tap feature in watchOS 10.1 to your Apple Watch Ultra 2 or Series 9. If you just got one, you can get it today, which is pretty cool. And then on top of that, we're going to walk through every single thing you can do with the double tap feature at the time of filming this video. It is important to remember that it is still in public beta. So this is not the fully baked version. It's the public beta version, which means it could change by the time it comes out to the production level. So the first thing we're going to do here is walk through how you can actually get watchOS 10.1 on your Apple Watch Ultra 2 or Series 9. And to do that, you will need your phone. So here I've got my iPhone 15. I'm going to dive into my settings in my phone, not my watch settings, but my phone settings. Then I'm going to click on the general button here, and then I'm going to go to software update. So I've already done this update on my iPhone 15, but if you haven't done this yet and you have not previously installed a beta build to your phone, what you'll need to do is click on beta updates. And if you haven't done this yet, you'll probably be set to off here. But what you'll need to do to get double tap enabled is click on public beta of iOS 17. Now keep in mind, full disclosure here, this is a beta build. So you're installing beta software to your phone, which is not production level. It hasn't been released yet. So there could be issues with it. If you've got, restarts happening or you're missing text messages or something like that, it's on you because this is a beta build. If this is a phone you rely on heavily, don't do this. Now, after you click on that beta update, it will prompt you that there is a new version ready to install of iOS 17.1. But you're not done yet. You still need to update your Apple Watch to get the double tap feature with watchOS 10.1. And to do that, you're going to dive into the Watch app on your iPhone. And I'm going to scroll down and go to the general tab here. And then I'm going to click on software update. Again, I've already done this before I started filming this video, but you can see here, it's the same deal as your phone update. You're going to click on beta updates. It'll probably be set to off already. What you're going to do is click on public beta, click back, and then again, you will have an install ready to go to update your Apple Watch. I should probably mention that double tap is only available for the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the Apple Watch Series 9. You will not have this feature available if you update your Apple Watch Ultra 1 or Series 8 or Series 7. Any previous model will not get the double tap feature. Let's move on to what double tap can actually do. We're going to do this in real time so you can see the accuracy of double tap as I go through all of these different processes that you can do with this feature. So hopefully it'll help you understand how accurate this feature actually is. The first thing I want to talk about with double tap is basically how it works. Basically, you need to be looking at your watch for double tap to work. Apple designed this so if you have your arms by your sides and you're fiddling with your fingers, you don't accidentally double tap something. So if the watch is asleep and not doing anything, double tap won't actually do anything. You have to actually wake the screen up for double tap to work. So here I just woke the screen up, I'm looking at it, and now if I double tap with my fingers, you can see I automatically start going through the smart stack on my watch. So this is the most basic feature of double tap. You can scroll through your smart stack to see your weather, you can see the date and time of day, you can see, any events that are happening today in my news and anything else that I've added to the smart stack. And double tap does work with other fingers as well. You can see here I'm using my middle finger to scroll through the smart stack here, and I can even tap my ring finger, although it does feel a little bit less reliable with my ring finger. And in some cases it does work with my pinky, but it's not super reliable with the pinky. I think the most accurate is with the pointer finger and thumb. Next up is phone calls. So if I go ahead and call myself from my other iPhone to this iPhone, we'll see that I will pop up here. And you can see I have an incoming phone call from myself. And all I have to do now is simply double tap. And you can see the little double tap icon comes up. And now there's an echo of myself that's ruining this video. So now I want to hang up. I'll double tap again. And you can see there, I just hung up on the phone call. Another use case for the double tap feature is responding to text messages. So you can see here, if we look at my watch, I'm going to text myself to my other phone, and we should see a notification pop up for the text message. So you can see there my incoming text message from myself. And now if I double tap, it'll actually record what I'm saying now and convert it into text so I can text myself back. And when I'm done writing my text, all I have to do is double tap again. And you can see there, I just sent the text message back to myself. And you can imagine that being really useful if you're, carrying groceries in from the car and it's raining or something and you get a text message. You can quickly transcribe some audio into text and send a text message back to whoever texted you. Now, the double tap feature will utilize any primary button that's in a notification that pops up on your watch. So in this case, it was a text message, and when I double tap, the primary button is to respond to the text message. But if it was a Facebook message or an Instagram message or something like that, it does the same thing. Let's move into the next use case of the double tap feature, and that's within the camera app on your phone. So if you open up your camera app, as you can see here, I've got the camera. I'm gonna take a really beautiful picture of this table. I can also see that view on my watch by diving into the camera app or the camera remote app on my watch. Now, all I need to do is I can simply double tap on my watch, and you can see it started a countdown timer to take a photo on my phone. You could imagine this being useful if you're, planning a photo, a group picture, you've got your phone on a tripod and you want to take a group photo with yourself included, but you don't want to have to set the timer and run over. You can also do this now just by double tapping with your hand. And here's the really interesting thing about the double tap feature when it comes to the camera remote app on the watch. It's that they got pretty smart about this because as I mentioned before, the double tap feature only works if you're looking at your watch, which could be awkward for a photo because you'd have to be like this, double tap, and then take the photo. But they got smart about this. If I put my hand by my side, you can't see my hand, but if we look at my phone and I double tap from my wrist here, you can see there, it just took a photo, it's counting down, took the photo, and I'm not looking at my watch. I can do it again, and it's counting down, and it just took the photo again. So you don't have to be looking at the watch for double tap to work when you're taking a photo, which is kind of a nice touch. And when it comes to double tap, there's also multiple use cases when it comes to timers and stopwatches and alarm clocks. For example, here, I've got an alarm clock set for 1 minute from now, so I'm gonna awkwardly wait for that to go off, and then we'll show you what it does. Oh, good timing. You can see there my alarm is going off on my watch to wake me up. And again, they got pretty smart about this. If I put my hand by my side and try to double tap, it doesn't actually recognize it. So I can't actually snooze the alarm by accident if I'm not looking at the watch. But if I am looking at the watch and I'm half asleep, I can go ahead and double tap my fingers. And you can see there, it just snoozed the alarm. Now, by default, it will snooze the alarm. It won't cancel the alarm. So in the event you accidentally snooze it, it's not the end of the world. You might be 10 minutes late to your meeting, but at least you're not gonna miss the meeting entirely. And like I said before, there's a whole bunch of different things you can do with timers and alarms and stopwatches. And as you can see, here is the Stopwatch app. And again, I can double tap to, the screen has to be awake, but if I double tap now, you can see the stopwatch starts. Double tap again, stopwatch ends. I don't know what the use case is for this. Maybe you're the coach of a track team and you have a clipboard in your hand. You don't want to tap on the screen. At least you can do it from your wrist. So there's that. And on the same topic, you can also set timers and cancel timers with double tap as well if I go down to the timer app on my watch. So here we've got a 1 minute timer. Again, it's counting down. I can double tap to pause the timer. I can double tap again to resume the timer. You get the idea. It just works. If you have a timer, if you're cooking and you want to pause it or resume it, you can do it very easily just with the double tap feature. Another use case for the double tap pertains to the Compass app on the Apple Watch Series 9 and Ultra. So if I dive into my Compass app here, you can see I've got my general compass layout, but if I want that new elevation view that came out in watchOS 10, I can double tap here and it automatically drops into that elevation view. So if you're on a hike or something and you want to quickly toggle between the compass view and the elevation view, you can do that with double tap as well. And the final use case I'll mention in this video for the double tap feature is probably the most useful, and that is playing and pausing music on your watch or on your phone. You can now do that with the double tap feature as well. So here I have the podcast app loaded up, Apple Podcasts, and I've got my own podcast loaded here, the Chase the Summit Trail Talk podcast. Check it out in the link down in the description down below. If I want to play this, I can simply double tap. That's a huge pain in the butt. And you can hear the podcast playing on my other phone in the background. If I double tap again, that will pause. Now, this play and pause feature with music works in any app. It could be, YouTube Music, Spotify, anything that has a play or pause that you could do remotely from your watch now works with double tap as well. When it comes to double tap and music, playing and pausing isn't the only thing you can do. So if you dive into your gesture settings, which I have here on my Apple Watch Ultra 2, you can see that I can actually turn double tap on and off entirely. If I don't want to use double tap at all, if it's something you hate, you can turn it off. However, if you scroll down in the settings menu here, you can see that there's a playback option. And here you can see that there's play and pause. And if you go down, there's also skip forward a track. So instead of playing or pausing, you'd rather skip forward a track in your music app, you can now do that with double tap as well. And the same goes for Smart Stack. In the gesture settings here, you can either advance or scroll through your Smart Stack, or you can select something from within the Smart Stack. That's also an option. Before I wrap this video up, I wanted to mention one quirk that I did notice about double tap, and that has to do with low power mode. So as you can see here on my Apple Watch Ultra 2, if I go to my controls menu here, click on my battery, go into low power mode, I can turn it on, and now I'm in low power mode as indicated by the little yellow circle at the top of the screen there. Now I'm in low power mode, and if I try to double tap now, you can see nothing happens. The double tap feature is completely disabled if you go into low power mode. Now, I don't know if this is due to the beta build, it's not in production yet, and this is something they're doing in beta, or if they need to do this to preserve the functionality and performance of battery life in that low power mode. What I think is happening is that the double tap feature relies on a process that's always running in the background that's sort of listening for those taps. And I'm really curious if that also means that low power mode will last a little bit longer on the Apple Watch Ultra 2. So stay tuned for some more in-depth testing on that, but I did want to mention that little quirk about low power mode and double tap. And that's really it for this shorter, not so short video about double tap. If you found it helpful and you found some value in it, I'd really appreciate it if you consider going down and giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to me down below so you don't miss more videos from me in the future. And as always, make sure to check out the description down below where you can find links to the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the Series 9. Those links do help support this channel and they cost nothing extra to you. Make sure to check out my podcast, my Instagram, and all the other stuff in the description down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.